So the Premier League season is fast approaching, and it's that time of the year again, boys, where we do our Premier League predictions for the 2023-2024 season. As always, make sure to get in the comments down below and let me know where you boys think each of the teams will finish. Who do you think will win the league? Who do you think is going to get the top four? The three teams to get relegated? Let me all know in the comments below. These Premier League prediction videos every year, they always do cause a bit of controversy in the chat. There's always different opinions, shall we say. So make sure you let me know what you think. Straight away then, Manchester City are my predicted league winners. I don't think you can look past them. Obviously, you boys know I'm a United fan, but I don't think top four again for us this season will be another great season. Obviously, I would love us to challenge this season and get closer to City. And I think we need a bit like Arsenal did last season. We need another challenger to make the league interesting, because you don't want City running away with it. Obviously, over the summer, City have already lost players like Mahrez, Gundogan. There's a few other big players that they're rumoured to potentially be moving on, but I can't look past City for another league title, man. That'll be what? They've won 4 in the last 5 seasons now. This could be 5 in the last 6 if they win this year's one. Their machine, Haaland again. I expect him to probably win the Golden Boot again. Another great season for him, I expect. And yeah, I can't look past City to win the league. I think most people, if you take away bias, if you're supporting one of the top 6 clubs and you take away your individual club bias, I think if you're this is a prediction video. This is what I think will happen, not what I want to happen. And yeah, Man City for me are probably the most likely to win the league, so I'm going to go with them in first place. Now, second place to fourth place, the remainder of the Champions League places then. Well, I'm going to go second place. I'm going to say Arsenal. I expect them to kind of learn from their mistakes last year. Obviously, they had a great season for, 9/10 of the season, up to the last couple of weeks, really, where they, in typical Arsenal fashion, kind of bottled it a little bit. Although they were a good thing for the league last year, because if Arsenal didn't push Man City, the league would have been a one-horse race since, basically all year round after a couple of months, right? So Arsenal were that team that were leading the way for, most of the season, for the majority of the season. And obviously City then put the pressure on later on, and Arsenal crumbled. But it was good for the league last season that Arsenal actually did have the season they did. But yeah, I think Arsenal second place this year. That's my prediction. They've already bought in Declan Rice, Havertz as well. I'm not sure what Havertz will be like for them, but he's another signing. And they've brought in Timber as well. They've got probably another few names going to come in before the window ends. They're strengthening their squad. I think Arsenal's second place this season. Third place, I'm going to go United. I can't put my own team too far down. So Man United in third place. We've obviously brought in a couple of deals ourselves. I was going to say Haaland, Højlund, Onana, loving Onana so far, and Mason Mount. Obviously, I expect with our board probably not too much more business. Amrabat, I do think we will get over the lines. That'll be our fourth deal of the window, and then whether we get anything more remains to be seen, right? As I say, third place for us this season. It's getting ever and ever so hard to get into this top four. It really is. Like every year. I said this on my main channel streams the other day. Every season is getting more and more difficult, because there's nearly one more team per season that you could put in that conversation for a top four place. You've got teams like Villa and Newcastle. Newcastle got top four. They're playing Champions League football this season. You've got teams like Aston Villa on the up. Let's not forget Liverpool that can come back into it. Tottenham obviously a new manager. Let's see how he does. You have Chelsea under Pochettino. There's so many teams that could slip in there. Third place, I'm going United. Fourth place then, I'm going Liverpool. So basically, long story short, my top four is literally the same as last season, apart from Newcastle. And I'll explain why I took Newcastle out in a second as well. So fourth place, Liverpool. I expect Liverpool to have certainly a much better season than last season. I don't think they're going to be any. I don't expect Liverpool to be the Liverpool from a couple of years back, where they were challenging Man City season in, season out. They obviously won the league as well, won the Champions League a few years ago as well. I don't expect to see that Liverpool, but obviously they've got people in like Bosley, McAllister, more signings to come. I would imagine as well. They're strengthening their squad, and I imagine they'll get a top four place this season. We've seen the Liverpool of old a little bit last year towards the end of the season. Kind of, if they continue, if they start this season the way they ended last season, on that good run, I expect Liverpool to get a top four place. As I say, nothing crazy. I don't see them, trying to fight for the league with Man City. It could happen. But I don't see that. But I certainly see them sneaking back into the top four for sure. Now, 5th to 7th place then. So I'm going to talk about Newcastle. I'm going Newcastle for 5th place. And then I'm going with Chelsea 6th and Spurs 7th. Now, as I say, it's tough for these teams, because they could get in the top four. Obviously, Chelsea and Spurs have new managers as well. New manager bounce. Let's see how that does for them this season. Poch will certainly settle things at Chelsea, you'd like to think, and obviously that Ange Postecoglou at Spurs, you'd imagine he'd be a benefit for them. You don't know, he's never managed in the league before, but you know, he's done good things to Celtic. Let's see what he can do in the Prem, right? But 5th place, I'm going Newcastle. The reason I'm not going for them in the top 4 place like they have got this season is I just wonder about their squad. They've made a few good signings so far. Obviously, Sandro Tonali from AC Milan's a good signing for them, you'd like to think as well. And yeah, I'm sure they'll make a few more before the window ends. But I would, as I say, I think their squad depth will come into question whenever they're playing European football. Obviously, they're playing Champions League this season as well. So yeah, I just feel like will they have the squad to manage European and their league games as well, their domestic games. So I'm gonna go with Newcastle 5th. As I say, I don't think they're gonna have a bad season by any means. They're gonna still be around there, around the top 4 race, I would imagine. But I think Liverpool might just sneak in this season, and Newcastle just drop out to 5th. As I've already explained, then 6th and 7th. Not much to say on Chelsea or Spurs. Obviously, they've both new managers at the club. So let's just see what they can do. Obviously, Poch. We know he's got Premier League experience at Spurs before, so let's see what he can do at that Chelsea team, who does need a big season. They were awful last season, finished 12th, was it, in the league? They need a big revamp and a big shake up, and I'm sure Poch can hopefully provide that for them this season. So that'll be 6th for Chelsea and then 7th for Spurs is my prediction. So 8th place then, I'm going to go Aston Villa. Now, as I say, I know you boys are going to say to me, Jack, why are you not putting Aston Villa higher than like Spurs or even Chelsea? I am just doing this based on a prediction, as you... Well, obviously, it's a Premier League prediction, so of course it's prediction. But I think Aston Villa, they could easily... I think Aston Villa are a shout for top 4. And when I say that now, you boys might be thinking, well, if you think they're a shout for top 4, Jack, why the hell are you putting them in? This is where I honestly think they'll finish. But I would not be surprised, because Aston Villa can do it. Yeah, so I honestly, as I say, I wouldn't be surprised if Aston Villa did get into the top 4. I genuinely wouldn't. The rise of that club under Emery and the type of players that they're and the type of team they're building has been amazing over the last, well, how long has Emery been in charge? Just over a year, right? I think, or not even a year. It's nearly around a year. Gerrard went early in the last season, didn't he? Emery came in. So as far as I know, anyway, I might be wrong on that. Villa fans, correct me in the comments. But yeah, I'm going with Villa in 8th place. As I say, I wouldn't be surprised. They could easily, Spurs could easily get 8th. Chelsea could easily get 7th. Villa could easily get 5th or 6th. Wouldn't be surprised. But I'm just going, as I say, that's my prediction. We're going with Villa at 8th place. We do have a few Villa fans that watch the channel, so I know I'm going to get crucified in the comments. But I can only go off what I'm thinking, boys. Alright, I can only go off what I'm thinking. As I say, I would not be surprised if Villa were easily got 5th, 6th, or 7th, or even a top 4 place. As I say, my top 4 is kind of... I do think this will be the top 4. I think it'll be very, very tough for anyone else to get in, other than the teams I've mentioned. But it could happen. It's the Premier League. Anything can happen. But I'm top 4. I'm pretty happy with that. The way I picked that. And then, as I say, I'll be honest as well. Like 5th to 7th, and as I say, 8th place here with Villa. Like any of those 4 teams. Those 4 teams: Newcastle, Aston Villa, Spurs, Chelsea. The order of those in positions in the league, it is hard to predict. And time will tell on that one. Like, if we could get to Christmas time, boys, and the league tables could you know, my predictions could be out the window. The league table could be completely different. So, it could look completely different. So, as I say, this is only going off by what I'm thinking now. But yeah, Villa in 8th place for that one. Right, boys, so we've done our top 8. So, obviously, the rest from 9th place all the way up to about 16th place, it's hard to predict. So, I'm going to kind of leave those out in this sense in this video, because obviously it's Premier League prediction video. So, as long as I'm covering top 4, covering relegation, covering European places, that's the chunk of what we're covering, right? 3 relegation teams. Apologies if any of these teams are your boys' clubs, but here we go. So, 20th place in the Premier League this season, in my prediction, is going to be Sheffield United. Yeah. Yeah. I think out of the relegated teams, Sheffield United are the only one I'm putting to go back down. Luton, I'll be honest, it's gonna be touch and go. It's gonna be touch and go. But Sheffield United, I'm gonna put them to go down. I'm gonna put them in 20th place. Nottingham Forest is gonna be 19th place. I'm gonna put Forest in 19th place. Obviously last season they were under threat of relegation quite a lot of the season. I do think they done really, really well to get out of that, and they picked up some important results, especially, I mean, Forest's home form last season was what kept them up. They were brilliant at home. They got very, very important results at home and got them the points they need to stay upright. So they done that last season. Will they do it again? I'm not so sure. I think Nottingham Forest, I'm going to put them in 19th place this season. And then in 18th place, I'm going to go with Wolves. Wolves last season, they don't score many goals. I'm not, I'll be honest, I don't know lots of their transfer window activity, like what signings they brought in this over the summer. I mean, I'd like to think if you're a Wolves fan, your club's brought in a striker, because, geez, you need goals last season. Although that wasn't even the problem, I don't think, most of the time. Well, you weren't creating loads of chances either, were you? Whenever I watch Wolves, it's not like you had an awful striker that couldn't finish. It was more the case of not creating enough chances, I think, from what I heard and from what I've seen. So, yeah, my three relegated teams, as I say, it could easily be. I think Burnley, though, one thing I will say, I think Burnley out of the newly promoted teams, Burnley, Sheffield United, and obviously Luton, they're the three promoted teams. I think Burnley, if any of those new promoted teams are going to stay up, I think Burnley is most likely. I think Company's come into Burnley and he's done a great job, obviously, getting them promoted. The style of play is completely changed from what I certainly expected of Burnley from seasons gone by in the Premier League, where you think of Sean Dyche and long ball and second balls and you know, gritty football, so to speak. You know, Company, complete different play style, man. So I think Burnley will stay up. I think Luton as well. I'm gonna go with Luton. I'm gonna predict them to stay up, and I hope they do stay up. Let's see what happens. As I say, they could easily go down. But yeah, time will tell, of course. But I'm gonna say Luton stay up. But yeah, with my bottom three, as I say, I'm going with Wolves in 18th. I'm going with Nottingham Forest in 19th. Sheffield United in 20th place. Let me know in the comments. There's gonna be controversy. I know. We all know, boys. These Premier League prediction videos, they cause good controversy in the live chats basically every single year. So back your club in the chat. I know we've got a few Nottingham Forest fans. I know, Jeff, I think you're a Nottingham Forest fan, bro. Get in the chat, let me know. Crucify your boy Footy. As I say, I'm only going off what my prediction is, and what I genuinely think will happen this season. I could be completely wrong. In fact, this is the thing about this. In a year's time, not even in a year's time, but in June, right, in about 10 months' time when the season ends, I will be reacting to this video and seeing, you know, how many we got right, how many we got wrong, right? But get in the comments, let us know, let's get the conversation rolling in there, and let me know what you think of your, obviously you don't need to type every single team, what position that you think they'll get, but do it like the way I did. Do your top 4 predictions, do your bottom 3 predictions, and let me know who you think will be in and around the relegation zone, and also in and around the top 4/European places, you know, hunt, I guess you could say. Thanks for watching, boys. So make sure you hit the like for us, hit the subscribe on the channel if you're just watching this for the first time, and yeah, boys, I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Peace out.